This past Thursday, Affirm shares shot up roughly 20% after they announced the expansion of their partnership with Amazon. Affirm will start providing its buy now, pay later services to Amazon business users beginning later this month. This makes Affirm the first pay over time choice for Amazon's business to business store. Now, if you recall, Apple came out with a similar version of their buy now, pay later program, and I thought that was the beginning of the end of Affirm. However, Affirm continues to maintain in thanks to Amazon. Now, this is Affirm on the monthly chart. You can see how price put in lows at the $10 level. We call this the accumulation area, as smart money or retailers were buying shares down in this level as they saw price selling at a discount. And if we scroll down to the weekly chart, we can see since then price has been making higher highs and higher lows until the most recent pullback, which still validates the uptrend if price can eventually take out this support resistance level at $26. Before we continue with the analysis, let's look at the video in detail as to why price gapped not once but a second time later in the week.
Affirm near the highs of the day, up almost 19% as it strikes a new deal with Amazon. Hugh Sun writing this story for CNBC.com. Amazon unveils buy now, pay later option from Affirm for small business owners. Hugh's here on set. Is this a big deal, or is this just kind of the Amazon effect of, hey, boy, they like Affirm?
Okay, it's a big deal for Affirm for a couple of reasons. If you recall, in 2020 and 2021, there was all this hype about BNPL, perhaps overhype. And what happened here, basically, the stock collapsed essentially from, it's still trading below their IPO price. That's because Peloton was their biggest anchor tenant. And as people stopped buying Pelotons, that business collapsed, and they needed to find growth. And they found it with Amazon, and they found it with Shopify. And those two together account for about 75% of the U.S. e-commerce market, according to Wells Fargo. So by doing this and just really proving that they have embedded in Amazon, for instance, in this case, in this deal, they add basically approximately 35 billion, potentially 35 billion in total sales volume on the Amazon platform, 6 million users. And I think perhaps you understand why they're up about 18% today after our scoop.
Yeah, it's a big move for them. I mean, the stock's still well off the highs, though. It's come down significantly in recent years.
The Affirm bear, and so they're up 100% this year. The Affirm bears will say, look at the impact on rising rates, look at the impact on defaults and the rising defaults on their user base. There is perhaps the increasing appreciation by the analyst community that, look, their default rates aren't that bad. If you actually looked at that, they're about 2 or 3%, which for essentially a subprime lender is actually really fantastic. They've actually gone down this year in terms of defaults. Mm-hmm. So you're getting some reasons to kind of believe their story because they believe and they profess that they built a better credit mousetrap.
So is there the equivalent of a small business credit card play here for Affirm? Is there some different kind of loyalty lock-in versus what they're getting from consumers? Because we've tended to think of BNPL as a consumer thing, but if there's a small business, bigger spending loyalty play, maybe that's significant in a different way.
Well, one of their growth drivers has to be their debit card, their credit, and so that's one leg of it. The other, it happens to be these partnerships, and that's kind of, it looks as though the way that they're going to win is potentially just by embedding themselves in these other players.
Staying on the daily chart, you can see that on Friday, although we had a gap and go, price is off the highs of the day. Again, kind of scrolling out to the weekly chart. You can see you had support. You also have resistance, 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 And resistance once again. So this is a strong level that price has to contend with. However, now going back down to the weekly, to the daily chart. If this uptrend is going to resume, it needs to close above the most recent pivot high. Now the good thing is that prices are above all the moving averages, and so these moving averages should now serve as dynamic support. We'll see going into the end of the year whether this level is going to be taken out before the uptrend resumes. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.